A train wrecked to spin fire. The NFT and Ella diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer. From your mint coins to tokens, he's got all the intel. Web3 wizardry will show you where to excel.
Good morning, fam.
He's got the insights like
How's everyone? It's good to see you. It is April. What April the 8th? Dude, the month is cooking already. A quarter through April, a quarter way through the year, and man, I don't know if anybody would have predicted the storylines we're living through. Safe to say it's an adventure. Spoiler for today's show. I'm definitely going to be talking about ordinals again and price predictions. I have to. I have to do it. I'm not going to spend long, but better believe that's coming up today. Good morning, Drop King. Good morning to you guys over on Abstract. Let's drop the link to Abstract. We're streaming over there. Also streaming over on X and on YouTube. Out of all of them, well, wherever you are, smash the like. But make sure you're subscribed over here on YouTube. It's Crypto Slam. Keep up with the morning show. You're at it right now. But Chain Reactor, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. And then in the afternoon, we have the Swarm Report, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, going over all the latest happenings in AI. And AI is about to really, really ramp up. You can feel it, especially behind the scenes if you see the building that's happening. It looks like we're getting ready for round 2 of AI. None of that really happens. Let's say the speculative side, the token side, doesn't happen without the broader crypto market coming back. But, we say all the time, builders are heads down building in the bear market, and you better believe that's a lot of what's happening right now behind the scenes. We'll get deeper into that again on the Swarm Report at 2. For now, though, again, subscribe to Crypto Slam over on YouTube. Follow us at CryptoSlam.io over on X. Obviously, follow SlamAI_XYZ as well. Head to the website and check out the light paper over there. And then our flagship AI agent, it is the Swarm_AI. We're going to get pretty darn chatty this week about that, by the way. Also, follow me at Hudah_IdiotFam. Okay, Vader. We'll keep this like kind of local in the family, right? We're family with Vader now after launching our Swarm token, their second EAO. That's their early agent offering behind Billy Betts, right? Then the Swarm, they announced their newest. This is number 3. Their newest early agent offering, basically a token pre-sale. This is for Wake Hacker AI. Actually, really, really cool. Autonomous agent that, I don't know, actually, I don't want to say for sure it's autonomous, maybe, but basically does contract audits, which is really, really cool, and has already done some big projects. Yeah, great utility for something like that, especially guys in the era of vibe coding, which coding without actually knowing how to code, using AI to help you code. You better run your contract through someone or something that can make sure that you built a safe contract. Something like Wake Hacker. Really, really cool. Really, really useful. That's coming next week, April 16th, 2 p.m. UTC. I don't know what time that is, local time for any of you guys here. So about a week off. We'll get into those details as we get closer to that. But hey, the past 2 have done really well for people who got in early. So no predictions here, but I think they'll do all right. We'll be talking about it this Thursday, right? So we're back with the builder set. What do we call this? Agent builders. Billy Betts, the Swarm, and now the newest EAO, along with Vader and Graham. Graham, who's incredible at covering the AI agentic ecosystem, focused on virtuals, but Graham covers it all. He's worth a follow. He'll be there. Seems like he'll be there regularly now. Great guy, great content. This is going to be an awesome talk, and these are just going to get bigger and better as they ramp up. Also on our Swarm Report, expect that we're going to have some really interesting stuff cooking there too. Very Swarm focused. Remember, the Swarm's going to be in Virtual's ACP, the trading DAO, hedge fund. That's going to be incredible. We'll be talking a lot of those projects. And then a quick note, look, nothing to do with anything that we normally talk about here, but I got to point out cool stuff. I have to. Hope you guys saw. But we saw such a cool technical breakthrough. At least it was announced yesterday. This is really going a few months back, and really it goes beyond that. But guys, if you didn't see, we have dire wolves, real life dire wolves, born thanks to this incredible tech that we have now. But yeah, gene edited and then born. They are here. They exist. These were extinct 10,000, I think actually 12,000 years ago is the last time there was a dire wolf, a living dire. And they're here. They're back. Wild what it means for conservation and like rescuing some of these species that are like on the brink of extinction. The world we're heading into right now, guys, where technology is bringing us pretty darn special. Anyway, this was such a cool story. Look, I'm not going to pull it up on the screen, but I'll just mention, if you like the UFO stuff too, really great episode of I think it's called Skywatcher, right? These former government employees actually still are some of them. Really awesome new UFO footage, like some of the best we've ever seen. Cool stuff. All right. Excuse me, guys. We're all wondering, who is Satoshi? We've been wondering it for 10 plus years, and here and there it feels like we might be finally finding out, right? We've seen this in courtrooms around the world, and after maybe the past few months, and we've gone through this a couple times, it becomes a little more clear we're never going to find out, maybe. But this is the first case, the first headline I'm seeing that I'm like, you know what? Maybe there's a possibility we actually do find out, maybe. At least get more information. Here you have James Murphy, who's a crypto lawyer, suing the U.S. Department of Homeland Security to force him to just give us information. That simple. Maybe it's like a Freedom of Information Act, something like that. But I'm definitely keeping my eyes on this. Some of the previous cases we've seen, I think they were obvious we weren't going to go anywhere with them. This feels like maybe a little different potential. So we'll keep our eyes over there. Okay, the market, tariffs, the trade war, all this stuff bubbling up. We're not through it yet. Yeah, you better believe we're not through it. In fact, I probably would say we maybe haven't seen the worst of it yet. That said, at least Jim Cramer was predicting a terrible day in the market yesterday. One of the worst days we've seen in 20, 30 years, 40 years. Pretty extreme, as Jim Cramer is. Didn't materialize. Actually, market's looking pretty resilient here. Instead of this Black Monday scenario he was predicting, guys, the NASDAQ finished up yesterday. It was actually in the green, so pretty darn cool. As of a couple hours ago here, Dow Futures up over 1,000 points. So we'll see when the market opens. They get 22 minutes from now. We'll check in with it. In fact, if you guys want to keep me posted in the chat, but we'll see how this day plays out, and especially how we start out, because there have been some developments since last night even. But man, my takeaway still through all this since last week is how resilient Bitcoin's been. It has been. Yes, down, but at a level, at a place I just didn't think we were there yet. We've talked about this quite a bit, that my thoughts at least, we dipped to certain levels. I don't think we live there long. I just think it's a new time. But I didn't think Bitcoin would hold up like it is now. Or actually, if I tied in that previous statement here, we're seeing it play out. And maybe it's just stronger than I thought. Maybe the demand is stronger than I thought in this belief in Bitcoin. Whatever it is, other people are seeing it here too. We'll keep our eyes still on Bitcoin, but something very, very special is happening out in front of us here. Bitcoin is evolving. Let's take a look at the crypto market. Guys, I have so many cool stories today. There's so much happening out there. By the way, Katz, good morning. Cutie, good morning. Murray, good morning. Great to see you guys. Over on Abstract, who's here? Hang on. Hoods, I see you, brother. Drop King, Player, good morning, guys. It's good to see all you guys. Okay. Crypto, guys, I'm telling you, it looks pretty good. It does. Bitcoin 79, we're almost back to 80K. Up 3.4% in the past 24 hours here. I'm so impressed. I am. ETH in the 1,500 range, which, also up. But it's just, to me, shocking seeing it that low. Still, these calls to see it under 1,000 might happen. Ripple under $2, up 8.7% in the past 24 hours, though. Solana, 110, up 7.3%. Some meme coins really popping off, too. A lot of people watching to see if meme coin season, look, maybe not back, but close to it, at least some life there. And I certainly felt some life in it this weekend. Played a token called Jockey. That was cool. We had a meme coin born from the Direwolf story. That ran to, 8, 9, 10 million? House token, also similar thing. I saw that at about 4 mil. I think ran to 8 mil yesterday. There's some life in the trenches, guys. So we'll keep our eyes on that. I hope when it returns, it is a when. It's not an if. But when the meme coin market really returns, I hope it's a little more pure and a little more fair. And it's how it feels right now. I'll say that at least. Looking at ETFs on the Bitcoin side, 103.9 mil in outflows yesterday. all things considered, I don't think so bad here. Moonship, great point. Yep, there's some money to be made in this market. If you got balls here, there's some money to be made in this market. You want volatility. You do. You absolutely want volatility. This is where people really make some big time bucks. And man, play both sides of it too. I mean, like always, not financial advice. I'm not that kind of guy, but I pay attention. I see guys who are really doing well in this market. Super volatile, but there's ways to play it. Yeah, right. I mean, I gotta say, this is all things considered, and yes, downside risks still, but I don't think positions even here are bad. There's one direction I think we're going in the next couple months, and it's up pretty drastically. Okay, on the ETH side, no volume yesterday. I always question that when I see it, but yeah, maybe that's real. Maybe there's no volume in the ETH ETFs. Today's a big day for the Ripple army. Officially today, we have our first ever Ripple ETF trading here in the United States. That's pretty cool. A 2x long daily Ripple ETF. I like it. That's a milestone moment. Just a quick heads up. Ripple is acquiring Hidden Road for $1.25 billion. Oh, I like that, Moonship. Big Trump announcement is start a short. Yeah. I mean, hey, especially with the kiddos, ETH is down 40-something% since Eric Trump's tweet. Yeah. So tariffs. There's so much going on. It's just not as cut and dry as tariffs imposed against the U.S. at this rate. We're going to reciprocate with this rate. Like, it's not that. It's part of it. There's so much more going on. There is some kind of major restructuring happening. I am going to tie this at some point back to ordinals prices. But ultimately, the point is things are changing in a way that's just hard for people to understand. And that includes myself. That includes me. If anybody says they do know where we're going, even when we know basically the direction, we get an idea of what the world's going to look like. But anybody who tries to make it any more clear than that, they're lying, or they don't even realize how much they don't understand. Nobody knows. I think we all just know that something much bigger is happening out there. But to tariffs directly here, guys, it is leading to things that might actually be good. Might be. Let's consider it at least. Trump saying other countries now offering things that we wouldn't have even asked for when it comes to trade deals. That was one of the points of this. It's just getting people to the table. It's to renegotiate. I like it. And Richard Hart here, it's an obvious point, but it's a good point, and I think people should reconsider. We'll peek at those, Marty. We'll look at Wizards in a bit. Marty's asking if Wizards are under 0.1 yet. I'm not sure they'll get there. I'm not sure. It's one of those things. They minted at 0.1, at least 60% of them. If it gets there, yikes. Also, it won't surprise me. I don't think they get there. Richard Hart, there's a difference between turning on tariffs because you think they're cool. I don't know anybody thinks that. But also a difference between turning on tariffs because you think because you want everyone to turn all tariffs off. Right? It's not that we want to levy them on other countries. We want them to remove their tariffs. A great reset. That is what Trump is looking for. Again, amongst other things, it's not just all about tariffs, but it is a good time to get people to the table and have some conversations. And if things are truly unfair, and I assume they are, I just assume they're unfair. And I'm sure there's other places, other things that we have very unfair deals that favor us. I would hope these balance out in different places. I'm not sure they do. But this is, again, a big reset, getting people to the bargaining table. And if we can get better deals, great. Then great. Oh, dude, Fog, you're awesome. Yeah, well, you know what it is? So I say this a lot. I can feel the market in the views. It's just there's less people watching. I bet the ratio is the same people who hit like to how many people watch, but viewership's way down because there's a lot of people that watch the show, guys. It's so cool, but they don't ever talk in the chat. But I get DMs pretty regularly from people who just pop in and say hi or maybe ask a question. I've never seen their name before. There's a whole other audience that watches this, and maybe those are the people that maybe unplug a bit when the market's not cooking, right? It would make perfect sense to me, but I appreciate that. The likes help a tons. So. Smash that like, bad boys. Why the fuck did I just call you bad boys? What was that? I'm going to go back and edit that out of the video. That was super weird. But we have Israel coming to the table, and it's deal time. It's deal time. It's happening. The thing that Trump was hoping would happen, it is happening. Taiwan, too. This one's actually great. I got some big fears around Taiwan and China, like as everybody does. Taiwan doesn't seek retaliatory tariffs against the U.S. Instead, we'll start talking from bilateral zero tariffs. Ensure Taiwan's competitiveness, will increase U.S. imports, and adopt other measures. We'll work together. We'll usher in a golden age of shared prosperity. Beautiful. Beautiful. Who doesn't love that? That said, we got that problem that's brewing in Taiwan with China. That is also a matter of when. That is not an if. And if this is something, this trade war that pushes us closer to a war in Taiwan, yikes. Does that change things? It escalates things. It's a thing you can't factor in right now. If I'm thinking Bitcoin's going to rip in the next couple months, man, all predictions go out the window. All predictions out the window if something like that happens. And by the way, we saw news of like Chinese boots on the ground in Ukraine. Like we'll see how that plays out. But there's some scenarios out there. So there's some other black swan events that are right on the horizon. Let's see. Moonship could have done way better. Pretty wacko system they use for the tariff percentages. Yep. Went from buying the Trump shoes to being completely... Marty, for real? I'm shocked. And I respect the shit out of that dude. I really do. I really do. I really, really do. I respect... I'm sorry. I just love anybody who it's not playing for a team. It's playing for your own principles. And it's why I never got on the Trump team, too, because I just sensed there was too much of... I just sensed things were always self-serving and not much more. That's wild, Marty. Honestly, I love it. I'd say congrats, but like for what? I just think that's awesome. That speaks to your character. I think that's awesome. Okay. So China retaliates already. This might get bad. It might. China responds to tariffs with more tariffs of their own against our goods, 34% increase. Trump now threatening an additional 50%, and I think I've seen now that our tariffs levied against China are over 100%. It's 104%. This is a wild game of chicken, man, and it's not good. Scott Bessent saying he thinks China kind of fucking up here.
President Trump has maximum negotiating leverage right here, right now. And I think it would be a mistake for anyone to think otherwise. And as I said, many of our trading partners,
what's his problem?
They have queued up, and they have kept their cool. They have not escalated, and they will get priority in the queue.
Oh my God, dude, just fucking say it. He says it's what you see in the quotes. China's making a big mistake. They might be making a big mistake. They might. We've been taught to fear China. We have, right? And rightfully so. And there's reasons to be, like, legitimately, China's come a very, very long way since I was a kid, for sure. But this is something that might really put it to the test and see if it's kind of all on paper or if they are a legitimate threat. I don't really want to find out, to be honest, but it is something that we'll have to find out at some point. The Taiwan thing is dicey. We'll say that. And tariffs still, man, if there's some good stories that come out of this, if there's some good things this leads to, it's still likely leading to a recession. It's still possible we're in a recession right now. There's so many more things that come into play here. There's so many more things. But right now, right here, right now, not great. Recession talk. More inflation. With Trump saying there's no inflation, and the numbers, I think, say otherwise. We'll look for silver linings here. You got guys like Arthur Hayes and Ben Zhao saying that this tariff war, the trade war here, there will be efforts made to manipulate currencies, China specifically, their yuan and the RMB, and I can't remember, renminbi. But typically when that happens, historically, this has happened before when China manipulates the price of their dollar, right? Their currency. Very good for Bitcoin. Very, very good for Bitcoin, guys. Like a flight to Bitcoin. as a means to preserve your wealth. It's happened two times in the past, 2013, 2015. We might be on the path for that again. Is it Ramibi? I think that's it. It's a second currency. It's almost like the yuan, but it's like it's valued differently. But I think technically it's the same paper, something like that. I'm not a fucking expert here. I'm doing my best. But yes, Bitcoin is a hedge against all of these things. Bitcoin is really becoming very mature right now. Since last week, I think we started really waking up to that, guys. Something different is happening with Bitcoin. A hedge against inflation. It's a hedge against these weakening currencies. All of this by design, too. This is Bitcoin's moment, and I think it's special. It's incredible that we're in it. If we're just on the sidelines watching it, great. But the fact that I think we're here early enough to be a part of it, awesome. Repercussions, those, again, they're here. The economy, rough. Things are about to, guys, in the next few weeks, and we'll talk about this plenty. I know it. We're about to see the real impact. We're about to see the price of things skyrocket, especially if you shop on Amazon, right? If you shop on Amazon, I think we're about to see it here, and it's literally in a matter of days, if not just weeks at the most. It's going to get very, very weird. You see the impact in a few places already. A Web3 company like Superplastic ending their toy line. I wish I saw this, man. I wish I saw this. They actually made all their toys, their figures, like 80% off. I wish I saw this, man. Really cool. I guess I don't need to pull it up, but they have a statement here of why, and it is related to tariffs. Here, let's see. Let's find that statement. Dude, the fallout here. I got to put myself in this camp, which is I can't usually. Well, okay. Give me a minute to kind of get this point out. There's a lot of things I can't really feel their impact till it actually happens. There's a lot of things like that, like this. Things that deal with the economy, that I have to feel it, and then I'll understand. Next time I'll have a better sense of it. Collectibles, different story. It's just because of my experience in collectibles for 40 years. I get that. I feel that. I get trends. I get people. Again, the economy, it's different. I don't think we even know what that's going to look like until it happens again, at least for me. I believe it's going to be a lot more severe than probably I'm picturing in my head. We'll see. Hang on. Where's our tariff talk? Superplastic toys are made in small factories overseas, owned and run by friends, because there's no U.S.-based vinyl toy factory. Zero. Speaking of tariffs, that's what it's supposed to change. Bring those factories here. Trump just signed an executive order about creating power, electricity here in the States. It's all a big setup. The goal is to get these factories here. It takes time. We don't see that play out in the short term. That said, the investments that are happening in AI and crypto right now, we'll see. That might happen sooner rather than later. But yeah, it's all part of the same story, everything we're saying here. Everything going fine until the U.S. government decided to impose 10% tariffs on our toys. Then on March 4th, tariffs went up to 20%. If we believe the president, soon tariffs will be 50%. Crazy. They can't afford it. They don't want to pass on the money to us. And so they're done. They're not making toys anymore. This is a bummer. We're going to see, guys, we will see a lot of this. This will impact people we know. This will impact people we know, our friends and family and our neighbors. There will be real fallout from this. It will hurt people. We have to hope it's short-lived, and we have to hope that if it happens, there's a safety net of some kind. I'll keep going back to the COVID times and stimulus what do you say? Free money. There's something. There has to be a kind of cushion or safety net. Otherwise, again, heading to a scary time. Now, okay, building coming to the States, factories, right? I hope it happens. I don't see a downside to that. There's so many things to say, I guess, about that. I was going to say, my whole life I've seen the world work the way it does with, factories and that type of labor being overseas. To me, it worked. Although COVID did wake us up to what happens when you do shut down, do lock down borders. Again, I could probably make a case for both sides. This is one of those things, I don't know if there is a right or wrong. I don't know. I don't know if anybody does. Iraq, good morning. Now, okay, we know there's some really good things on the horizon here, just specifically for crypto, and why I'm so bullish still long term. And bullish is even an understatement. It's more than bullish. It's the most excited I've been about growth in technology ever. So we had an announcement from the U.S. Department of Justice. This is just this morning, guys. They're disbanding their crypto enforcement unit. Happened. Done. Effective immediately. Done. It's big for crypto. Also saying they're no longer going to target self-custody Bitcoin wallets and privacy services. So we saw things like Tornado Cash come off of these sanction lists. Great stuff. Great for crypto. I mean, again, the runway is completely cleared off. Right? Maybe that's the analogy, though. The runway is clear. I don't think the planes are even on the runway. I don't think they're taxiing yet, but I think that's the next step. Runway's clear. Now these planes can start taxiing and get ready, and the takeoff thing comes. I still think it's a year or two off for, really that extreme, building and the fruits that come from that, but it's being set up. Trump did the same tariff thing around 2018, and then China did the same. But eventually nothing happened, but Bitcoin fell 60%. Interesting. And more from the SEC, more from, on the regulatory front. Coinbase and Uniswap going to join the SEC for the first crypto trading roundtable. I hope this is streamed. There's 4 of these coming up. This one comes here. Well, let's click on the article. I'm trying to remember when this is, but I believe it's in a matter of weeks, like still this month. But 4 of these, I hope they're streamed. There was one 2 weeks ago that was streamed. Was not the SEC. It was like the crypto. God, there's so many like panels now and commissions and whatnot. I actually feel like they already did their first. Yeah, the crypto task force did already have a meeting like 2 weeks ago. Anyway, just want to see when this actually kicks off. April 11th. Okay, great stuff. So 3 days off. This is Friday. And will it be streamed? I believe it's going to be streamed, and it looks like it runs about the same time as that last meeting. So again, I wonder if they're wrong calling this the first of 4, or if the first one was like a setup. It was warm up. That was batting practice. Now, this is really interesting. This comes as a press release from the White House. I think Tyler is misinterpreting this, but let's go look at it, because if he's right, really spicy. I think Tyler's misinterpreting this, though, although I could be wrong here. Okay, White House has come out and said they no longer want the U.S. dollar to be the reserve currency. I don't think that's what they said, but let's look at the comment. Let's look at the statement here. Again, this is an official White House press release yesterday. We won't read the whole thing, I don't think. I might as well. Today, I'd like to discuss the U.S. provision of what economics call global public goods for the entire world. First, the United States provides a security umbrella, which has created the greatest era of peace mankind has ever known. I don't know about that. Second, the U.S. provides the dollar and treasury securities, reserve assets, which make possible the global trading and financial system, which has supported the greatest era of prosperity mankind has ever known. It's all fake, by the way. It's all fake. Both of these are costly to us to provide. On the defensive side, our men and women in uniform take heroic risks to make our nation and the world safer, preserving our liberties generation after generation. And we tax hardworking Americans mightily to finance global security. Now, this is the key part here. Again, I don't agree with Tyler's take. On the financial side, the reserve function of the dollar has caused persistent currency distortions and contributed, along with other countries' unfair barriers to trade, to unsustainable trade deficits. These trade deficits have decimated our manufacturing sector and many working-class families and their communities to facilitate non-American trading. I think it's cut off there. But again, that part that's highlighted, we're talking about the U.S. dollar, right? The reserve function of the dollar has caused persistent currency distortions. And they're calling this unstable, unsustainable trade deficits. Again, Tyler's point here. Tyler's point that the White House has come out and said they no longer want the U.S. dollar to be the reserve currency. I don't think they said that. I think it's completely misinterpreted. I think it's just pointing out what has happened because of it, and that's kind of why the tariffs are happening now. It's to fix these deficits and the money manipulation. But I do read into this in the direction that Tyler is. This is related to crypto. This is related to crypto. By the way, that is coming still, Moonship. The Fort Knox gold audit's coming. Look, and that plays into this too. There is something that this is teasing, which is crypto. I don't think this is us moving to a Bitcoin, a dollar-backed a Bitcoin-backed dollar. There we go. I don't think he's talking about that. I don't think this is a shift to Bitcoin being a reserve currency. Maybe it is. God, that would be. Can you imagine that? If Bitcoin is this, the United States shift to Bitcoin as a reserve currency, and the rest of the world maybe has to follow suit. Depends. This is where things get spicy. I think they're just setting us up for stablecoin regulation. That's how they've talked about this already all along the way. Stablecoins that are backed by the U.S. dollar via treasuries, anything else that's officially backed. 1-1. I do think Bitcoin's a part of it too. But anyway, it's really big when they make comments like this still. Again, I just think he's misinterpreted it, but this is crypto adjacent. It's part of the conversation. Big stuff, guys. And the timing of this comment, it's right during the tariff wars, the beginning of the trade wars. It's just the start. But the strategic Bitcoin reserve executive order, all of these things, they're very tied together, and they're all happening now for reasons. Also, this ties right into it too, guys. Right, again, just they're orchestrating something, and it's very, very obvious. I would like. I think it's easy to make the mistake and say that they are stupid. You hear that a lot with Trump. Stupid. This is pretty well orchestrated. And when I say well, I don't mean like it's expertly orchestrated. I just mean it's thoroughly like it is. This is planned. You have World Liberty Finance, right? The Trump family DeFi platform, who launched a stablecoin just a couple weeks back. Okay, people who own the World Liberty Finance token, remember the soulbound token that they sold on their website? That was a big story. They are getting an airdrop of the stablecoin. It's that simple. How much? Don't know. But they're seeding their stablecoin out there to test their systems, but also it is the reward. It might be significant. What if it's 1-1 for your investment? What I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense, but all this talk about stablecoins, the Stables Act moving to the next step of a vote in the House and Senate, it's all coming together. You see these pieces. You can see them all on the board, and you see it's all starting to come into place. I'm sorry, it's hard to not be excited about this stuff, guys. Really, really hard. Now, we have rate cuts coming. I think that's very obvious at this point. Like really obvious rate cuts are coming, maybe even emergency rate cuts. In fact, we didn't get to hear an update from the Fed's meeting yesterday, right? Wasn't an emergency meeting, but they did meet. JP Morgan now expects back-to-back interest rate cuts. And that's in the next 4 meetings. We may have an early one. This will work. We can cook a bit with this. Might be tempered just because of so much uncertainty out there, but I mean, man, World Liberty scooped up lots of ETH around 25. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and they would not be doing that if they didn't have some plans, if they didn't believe where it's going. I just think that's some of the most obvious stuff. If you want to copy trade anybody, yes, you would be down right now, but you copy trade those guys. Good Lord, Lemon. I need more of this guy in my life. Dude. First, you know what? Like, Lemon used to watch me when nobody watched me. I remember it, dude. I remember when I started streaming, and, you know, people would kind of pop in and out. And Lemon, I just remember one specific day. Like, one specific day, he was just there chatting with me for, it was like a good long while. And the guys back then, like, chat was dead. Nobody talked. There were, like, I don't know if I had any viewers then. I still did the streams, but I remember Lemon being there, and I'm like, I like this guy. And then it turns out that I had met Lemon before. I think we have a mutual friend, our friend Kim. I either met him before or whatever. There was some cool connection there already. Anyway, I fucking love Lemon. It's good to see you, man. CoinGecko got a coin. Yeah, I saw their tweet. I'll get to that too. I saw their tweet showing off their gecko, and I can't remember what name they gave him, but I didn't know they were launching a coin, so we'll check that out. That'd be spicy if so, and I wonder how they get that out there. If they do a pre-sale. Okay, I told you I'm going to do Ordinals talk, and I am. I mean, and just briefly, I hope I hope Casper's watching. Casper lost his goddamn mind yesterday. You guys remember? Cat since day one. Cat is like as good a friend as you can ask for and supporter. Cats, you rock, man. Yeah, if you didn't catch yesterday's stream or you were kind of in and out, we had a guy named Casper who watches, I thought, sort of regularly, but lost his damn mind. I wonder if he lost a lot of money on something. Came in talking about quantum cats and like poking at my prediction of, cats to 200K. It was weird. He even name dropped my wife, and I think I've mentioned her name like once or twice. It was weird. But he was not happy. And he got put in timeout or banned. I don't know the difference. I don't know. But I'm going right back to it. I'm going right back to that comment. When I talked yesterday, and mentioned the tweet he needs to look at from Punk6529, talking about this really strange world that's coming. Well, what do you know? DC Investor tweets the exact same thing. His own tweet talking about the same thing. This is the environment that we're going to see when those predictions actually come to be. That's it, Check this out. DC Investor saying tariffs probably going to blow over in the next 6 months to a year if we're lucky. Agree. I think 2026 is going to be a monster of a year. I do for crypto. I really do. And especially for NFTs. Doesn't mean the ordinals price predictions are next year either, by the way. I think they'll do well, but that's not when we get to 1 or 2. We could. Totally could. Saying, I think what won't blow over is countries globally has lost confidence in the U.S.-led global world order. Agreed. I agree with that too. Hang on. There's the point I really want to get to. Well, let's just do it all. Everyone will lean more protectionist by default from now on, and the free flows of economic activity we're seeing over the past 80 years may start to slow. Agreed. Now, this is the part. It's time to start thinking critically about endgame financial positioning for this empire. In a world where AI and robotics are simultaneously taking off and may create the biggest deflationary consumer shock in history. That is key to everything there. That's it. And if I don't do a good job of explaining what that looks like, so be it. Because I don't think anybody knows. In fact, he says he doesn't know. To him, it's not obvious what's the right answer for allocations because we don't know what that looks like, how that's going to play out. We don't know if it really plays out that way. Hunter Orell says he doesn't think it's going to be the scenario where everybody loses these jobs. Right? For this to play out, it's loss of jobs, loss of income. But also everything is so cheap because AI and robots are producing everything, or so much of what we're used to, now, that they're cheap. They're a fraction of the price that they are today. And when I make the crazy ordinals prediction, which, by the way, proud to make it again today, top ordinals are still going to 1 or 2 Bitcoin floor. The only thing I'll say that changes this, well, 2 things. I've already said if something at a fundamental level changes about blockchain and Bitcoin, right? Like Bitcoin is compromised. You know what I mean? Or there's a fork and it creates more supply. Something changes Bitcoin fundamentally. This goes out the window. The other scenario is, or something I at least want to consider, I'm open to considering not valuing it in Bitcoin, the price that these get to, but instead maybe doing it in USD value. Because I think Bitcoin's going to be insane. $1 million easy. $5 million per coin. I think we get there at some point. Does the Michael Saylor idea play out where Bitcoin is like $25 million a coin or something? Maybe in the long run. I don't think anybody can predict timeframes with this as quickly as things are changing and evolving. So that said, I am open to changing my prediction and make it more US dollars based. And if so, I don't know what that number would be. Top ordinals collections are like $250,000 each, $500,000 floor, $1 million, right? It's something like that. It's whatever it is a monster number. And it is supposed to be a number that shocks people. It is. It's going to be a shocking number. And the reason is exactly what he's saying here, where he doesn't know where to allocate yet. My bet, amongst many, many things, is what we saw Punk6529 say. It's in art. It's in art. It's in these culture things. It's in these things. If we all have more money to work with because everything is so cheap, we saw during COVID what people do when they have more money. They spend it. They just spend it. We all know we do that. When we have extra money, we go spend it. But what if everything you want to buy is already cheap? That you don't need it. Everybody's got all those things. That is what the AI revolution is going to bring, we think. And so where do you spend it when you have more money? I still believe to my core that a lot of it goes to digital collectibles. And if you want a digital collectible that matters, man, guys, it matters on Bitcoin more than anywhere else, period. If Bitcoin is $1 million a coin, $2-3 million a coin, an asset that's preserved in that network, the value is, I know why people get worked up about that, and it pisses them off. They can't see it. I get it. Like I said before, there's some things I can't see till they happen. I get it. This happens to be one of those things that I can very easily see. It's not guaranteed, obviously, but this is something I see coming if the world goes to what DC Investor is saying and Raoul Pal is saying. And even Murad says it with his meme coin predictions. All those guys are all talking about the same thing. I am as well. My Ordinals prediction exists in that world here. It's that simple. So the prediction is not for this week or this month or this cycle or next year. The prediction is in that world. Those Ordinals are going to be worth 1 or 2 Bitcoin or 500,000 or $1 million. I don't know. I'm just, the point there is an astronomical amount of money, and it's going to shock a lot of people. It might be. I'm open to that bullish. That right. This was closer to what Hunter was saying too. I'm really curious about that. This is something I think through a lot now. I can see it playing out, that abundance happens. I can see the flip side playing out, where why would anybody give us anything cheap, free? That is not their nature. I could go both ways with it. So kind of like, well, you know what? To just sum it up, I think it's this. DC investors, some weird times ahead. That's all I know for sure. All I know for absolutely certain is it's going to get very weird in 5 years. Might be really good, might be really bad, might be right in between, and we don't really feel a difference. I don't know. But at this point, I'm making a bet on Ordinals because there's a chance it goes that other way. Oh, I want to hear more about that. Iraq, I think we're on the same page with stuff, right? Bullish, what should I look at? Like, I'm curious what you're getting at here. And by the way, if we have a long way to go to get the tech to that point where this actually materializes, I actually agree. But I also know, guys, so the tech guys thought AI was slowing down. They did. This is like the who's who of the tech industry. They're building an AI. A year ago, thought AI was slowing down, that we're not getting these exponential gains in their leveling up, right? Their training and the resources we need to power them. Like, everybody said it was slowing down. And we saw, like, last month, CEO of NVIDIA said, we all got it wrong. No, they're growing way faster than we thought. They need way more compute than we thought. It's growing faster. It's, where do we see this next, line of AI products that come out? Not necessarily on the crypto side, but just in general, the next iterations of these LLMs. We might get a better idea of how close we are to AGI. And, that's really when things change. But all these things, it's why, again, weird times ahead, the time frame weird too. While I could see drastic changes in 5 years, not where nobody's working. I don't see that 5 years off. 10 years, maybe. 5 years, I still think there's a chance things are very different. And that's because maybe crypto adoption, maybe. But what's so weird is hard to predict. Impossible to predict, because I think what's coming, we've never seen anything like it, other than like industrial revolution kind of stuff. But that drastic, combined with something like that happening in the birth of the internet at the same time, that is kind of what I'm seeing coming. I don't think we've seen it before. Weird times ahead is the only thing I'm betting on. It's kind of that simple. So there we go. Top Ordinals collections going to 1-2 Bitcoin floor. Or we can just replace that and just say are going to be very, 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 very valuable. Rare artifacts that live on Bitcoin. There's not a lot. There's just not a lot. There we go. All right, let's look at the NFT market. I'm sorry. Man. Maybe that's my favorite topic right there is Ordinals predictions. And I'll say this, last point on it. The reason I hit that so often, the reason I go to that so often, one, I did it today because, it gets people mad. So, yeah, I did it because of that. But the other is, I told my brother this a while back. Sometimes I see a thing and I feel very strongly about it, and I'll talk about it. And then I talk about it, and I know it's not that I need people to listen. I have this really, I don't know what it is that makes me feel this way. I don't want people to miss certain things. And there's been some big ones that I know people missed, and I wished then that I talked about it more. And very specifically, again, Bitcoin, I missed. But those scenarios, Bitcoin, CryptoPunks, we all know that that's coming up again. Something will have that kind of story. Ordinals, I think, have the best chance of anything to be that story. I talk about it a lot because I want people to listen. As annoying as it is to hear it over and over, I feel it very strongly that out of everything out there has the best potential to do that. All right, NFT sales yesterday, 15.3 million. That is cross-chain sales. Sellers up by 7. Wow. Buyers up, transactions down, average sale price way up. Interesting. And then trade, wow, dude, trade profit, 2.7 mil in the negative. It's fun, man. It's fun. Bullish. All right, but between now and the AI revolution, countries will be focused on feeding their citizens and recovering from fiat deflation and high inflation. That makes sense. Bullish, that makes a ton of sense. It might get that dicey. It might. Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's it. Now, this is why we got to wait and see what's the Trump administration hinting at with the U.S. dollar. Like, there's again, these things are all intertwined, and what does it mean? And what, like, this is the thing I don't know. But I imagine during that period of just like, I mean, like you're saying, the focus is on feeding citizens. Like, it's actually not a good scenario. But I start picturing what does that look like too. And while I don't know, I imagine like stimulus is part of that too. Like full on, here's a check. Like maybe. It is that drastic that things will have to happen. But what those are, that's the part we don't know. Okay, let me refresh. Let's see what our top collections are in the past 24 hours. Courtyard on top again, followed by D-Market, CryptoPunks, Guardian Heroes, Bored Ape Yacht Club, BAYC on Blast, Money Laundering on Base. Not sure about these guys, Guardian Avatars and Mutant Apes. I'm going to push Pudgies at basically the 10 spot because I think some of these are just laundering collections. So Pudgies, 154,000 in volume, very low volume. Wow. And then your top sales, bunch of CryptoPunk sales. I love that. LRG, good morning, man. CryptoPunks, how many sales? 12 CryptoPunk sales. That's beautiful. Oh, I love to see that. Punk season maybe starting to heat back up. We'll see. Your top sales, Punk 3978, selling for 60 ETH is 94. Let's say $95,000. Look at that. A few punks with a wild hair trait. Actually, it's a lot of wild hairdos going yesterday. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 with the wild hair, and then 1, 2, 3 with the clown hair. Interesting. I like it. Also, some interesting art sales, guys. Pepin, this is Series 31. The one of one from that series. Sold here for 26 ETH. That's 40 grand. That collection's interesting. That series in Opepin's interesting. Interesting because the actual revealed piece looks like the unrevealed piece. This isn't completely accurate. This one, if it were revealed on site, like updated metadata, would be the little square down here. This is the 1-1. But when this collection revealed, the artwork was actually the unrevealed look. I thought that was cool. Jack Butcher, I think, I just think he's clever. I think he's a clever guy. I think he's a phenomenal artist. That is one of the coolest series in Opepin. So big sale. Cool to see. All right, man, dude, I'm like, I don't know. Coffee hit at a perfect time. We got a lot to get through still. Some big X copy sales still. A lot of X copies on the move, guys. A lot. We have Disruptor selling for 35 ETH. Love it. Dude, it's funny now thinking about the USD value of these things right now. It's like, I used to just 2x, basically around $2,000. Not anymore. So what is this, like $50,000? Not cheap, but... Oh, dude, hang on. I just closed the abstract stream. Sorry, guys. Hang on. Hang on a second. Apologies. Okay, hang on. Now I got to sign back in. What an idiot. I don't know why I did that. Okay. Almost there. I don't know why I did that. Oh, by the way, today's Abstract XP Day. We'll see how I did. It's not, well, actually, last week was decent. Okay, hang on. I think almost back. I don't think it killed the stream, by the way, but I can't see any of it. Okay, we're back. All right, back on Abstract. Okay, Disruptor 35 ETH. We saw a Grifter 453 for 26 ETH. Jesus. Oh, that's amazing. Dude, you want to know? I'll tell you a crazy story. A good friend here in crypto, guy that, we've been in this together for years. So my brother got a Grifter. In fact, we might have shared it. I can't remember if that was a shared one. I think it was. And our great friend got a Grifter as well. In fact, I think he got a couple. He gave us a Grifter. Those were the good old days, man. I'll tell you what, times were that good. And like, look, those times will happen again, but this speaks to what those times were like. The times were so good and everybody had so much value in their wallets, we should have sold everything, that somebody gave a Grifter. It was 10 ETH at the time, maybe 12, maybe 15, something, but let's just say 10. He gave us a 10 ETH asset to do whatever, sell it, do whatever. It was just here you go, buddy. That's the time that if you weren't here in the 21-22 cycle, one of the coolest things I've ever lived through, ever. One of my favorite times of my life, of course, because everybody was making so much. That's coming back again eventually. Also, when I talk about ordinals and prices, that is what that era feels like again. So much money that you can't, you do, I mean, very generous things like that, but, maybe a little reckless too, maybe. That again is what the time looks like when the ordinals hit that price. Right? Just Xcopy is amazing. Moonship, you made a proxy server yesterday that changes the metadata of thousands of NFTs a day. Interesting. Moonship, what do you do for work? Dude, it was the best. And I know everybody here that I know, we were together during that time. Everybody was generous in their own way. It was like part of why I loved it so much. Yeah, the money part was great. But it was just as great that you took care of your friends too. That was awesome. That's where we really felt the community thing. It's a real thing. The community's special. And it was just, you got to do this. You got to be part of a great community. But everybody helped everybody. It was magic. Oh, dude, it was a tiny community. Dude, funny, Moonship. I think you said that yesterday during the Swarm Report show too. Yeah. Well, now just learn the vibe code, right? We saw a big steady Teddy sale. By the way, I don't know if we'll have time, but there's a lot of FUD in the Barachain ecosystem right now. Not great. I don't know. Yeah, again, I don't know if we'll have time. Steady Teddy, a rare one, sold for, almost $19,000. Those are legit. Yeah, those are very legit. We have the OCM Satoshi mint today. 9 a.m. Pacific, 9, 10, 11. Okay, that's coming up in 2 hours. 2 hours, we have that mint, 0.0042 Bitcoin, 2,100 editions. Probably sells out, mostly because they have such a hardcore community. Hardcore. So we'll keep an eye on that, get a feel for, how people are feeling. Do they want to speculate or, they got enough collectors. Oh, and one of these mints is going to be a Celestial, which has sold for $100,000 in the past. Wow. It's a big one. Also, OCM became the number 2 ordinals collection by market cap. Flipped puppets, wizards. Spicy. I didn't realize node monks are top. I like it. Where's my node monk? Where is it? Oh, damn, dude. You know what? I bet if we all shared a lot of stories, I bet with our significant others, a lot of us were in a very similar place. Honestly. I bet. I'll tell you this. COVID was not great for relationships. Like, COVID tested relationships because you were stuck with each other and everybody was so anxious and scared. And so it really, for all of us, brought out the worst of us at times. I can tell you in my house, that was the roughest period. I've been married for 21 years. Actually, this month it'll be 21 years. Easily the most difficult period was right during COVID. And I didn't think we were going to make it out of it at all. I was sure. I talked to my brothers about it. I'm like, this is done. And I'm so glad that we stuck through it. But I think that story is really common out there, which is crazy, right? It actually helps knowing that other people were going through that, because you feel like you're an asshole and you feel like, it's just such a fucked up situation. It was, but I think everybody was going through very much the same thing. We all hated each other for a while. Genuine hate. Weird times. Weird times. And I'll say even like only more recently have we gotten back to being very good again. Like past 6 months. And it's been awesome. Like better than ever too, which is awesome. But yeah, that was not fun. I hope to never go through that again. I think we learned a lot, and I think never will. I'm glad you guys, Iraq, I'm glad you guys were able to weather that too. Just because I know it was brutal. I know it. So very cool you're on the other side of that, hopefully. Okay, here's a mint coming up. Just wanted to put this in here. I love Mr. Ricci. I fucking love him. He is one of my favorite artists out there, period. Like, gives me strong a lot of money vibes. Like, very much feels like he's inspired by a lot of money. But his art's hand-drawn with the help of AI a bit, too. And he's got legit collectors. He's awesome. We got some whitelist spots for this mint. So this is coming up April 16th on Magic Eden. It's on Solana, which I don't love that it's on Solana, but actually it fits in the theme. And he's minted there before, but it's called Cash Grabbers. I'm going to pull up just an image or two. I'm not going to run the whitelist today. I need to find out how many pieces we have to give away, but he's incredible. Yeah, here we go. This is from the collection. He is a phenomenal artist. So what, 0.5 something SOL.
Exit liquidity initiated.
Oh, this is awesome. Let's play this. But yeah, 0.5 something SOL for whitelist. 600 something editions. He's got collectors, but he's just phenomenal. I'm definitely gonna mint this and just keep it because I love the guy.
Exit liquidity initiated.
No.
Failed transaction.
Soul drain.
Try again.
Digital heist in progress.
Dude, he is awesome. I'm excited to get those whitelists to give away. I'm going to give away some in the CryptoBats community. I'll give some away on this show. But yeah, really great mint. Can't wait for that. Moving on, Little Pudgies. Did we talk about? I don't think we talked about this yesterday. Okay, Lil Pudgy's YouTube series is coming in just a couple months here, I believe. I'm looking forward to it a lot. I mean, man, I love everything in the Pudgy ecosystem, everything. And really looking forward to this animated series here, okay? With Overpass IP, they're going to be licensing, I believe, like 50-ish Little Pudgies to also appear in the show. Yeah, it is 50. 50 Little Pudgies. So if you have a Little Pudgy, you can head to this website here, overpassip.com, and try to get your guy licensed to be in that animation. I think that's incredible. Incredible. Cue to you too, dude. Yeah. It was crazy time. Anyway, if you got a Little Pudgy, you probably want to do that. I think that's awesome. You get paid. If they license your Little Pudgy, you do make royalties on it. You do get a licensing deal. We got an update. By the way, I got a couple cool stories still coming. An update from Project 02, which, remember, this is from some of the co-founders of the Doodles, who I guess are no longer on the Doodles team. This is their new thing. It is called Degen Fusion. So they've done a token pre-sale. They've brought in 200 plus ETH. You can also do Solana here. Whatever this is starts soon, and I don't know what it is still. I don't know if anybody really knows what it is. Maybe it's cool. I'm not betting on it. If you are, I hope it's cool. Hope you do well. I'll just be on the sidelines watching, and I just know that there's a lot of drama in the Doodles family. That I know for sure. Also, Doodles have a book. I think this is really cool. In fact, I appreciate the Doodles art, but Good Vibes Club has me appreciating this kind of stuff in a different way. Like the thought that goes into palettes and shapes and shine and all. I knew it was that deep, but I couldn't make any sense of it. I don't understand the theory behind it, but Good Vibes Club made me want to learn the theory behind it. Well, Doodles have a book. It's the Doodles Field Guide, version 01. And it's talking about creating this stuff. The guide covers everything you need to know to master our deceptively simple illustration style. I think that's awesome. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to buy that, but I think that's really cool. I like that. I like it a lot. Oh, like here's an example. Hang on, let's just zoom in here. Like again, the thought that goes into everything. I just years ago I wouldn't have realized that. A circle for the belly, which extends out the top, curving a little to show the arc of their back. And they have reasons for it, right? They have like almost these psychological reasons for why everything is shaped like it is and sized like it is, right? We rarely see the straight-on view, but it's good to know anyway. Okay. Yeah, and you'll probably learn in this the whys for those things. Why are the eyes positioned where they are? Why are they just the black circle dots? You know, like everything has a reason. Why are the palettes? Why is the colors? Like why are they what they are? And there is good reasons for all of it. Sticker store. We saw Doodle sell out on the sticker store recently. We saw just last week, I think. We saw Pudgy Penguins sell out there. These are NFTs on Telegram. They are NFTs. They have their marketplace launching tomorrow. I've got it all loaded up, guys. You can add that Telegram bot right to your Telegram. I'm not missing this. I might overpay and buy tomorrow. Like I really want a Pudgy sticker, even knowing there's more coming. But I really want a Pudgy sticker. Oh, Pudgy Grandpa, good to see you, man. It's been a minute. It's great seeing you. Okay, so sticker store. Again, I think the marketplace secondary market's open tomorrow, okay? Pudgy stickers. There's some Bored Ape stickers, like unofficial, but they're licensed. What else did we have there? I feel like there was another big brand that dropped there, and I love it. I love it. I think the stickers are awesome. I'm going to get a Pudgy Penguin sticker. Again, I probably will overpay for it, but I'm really interested in seeing the value because that tells me if I want to get into the next thing. They might cost $20 to mint for the pack. If you flip them for $100 a sticker, man, I'm not missing it. But we got a big sticker drop coming along with this marketplace. This is on the 9th, so tomorrow, Ric Flair. Some official Ric Flair NFT stickers on Telegram. I'm a fan. So anyway, we'll keep our eyes on that. I hope it does well. I just want the Pudgy Penguin sticker. So this is a bigger deal than I think people realize, as in a way to make money. This is more in the vein of remember Vivi? And let me think. Vivi, and I'm trying to think of other platforms. Well, maybe even like the stickers on Flow, right? The Disney stickers or pins. It's like in that vein. I think it taps into that audience, a different kind of mainstream audience. And if the gains are $20, $50, whatever, it's not nothing. And I think we'll see some that get a lot of value. I won't be shocked to see a Pudgy sticker or whatever that maybe goes for $500, $1,000. But it won't shock me at all. I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, Far officially announced the next artist that's part of the Buzz collection. That's a collab between Harto and, yes, Far, the artist behind Taproot Wizards and Quantum Cats, and he is his own art on chain, which is awesome. But it is this Blessed guy. So people put two and two together and they assumed it was him. But again, officially announced it is him, which is very cool. Great artist. Song a Day Man makes a song a day. I think most of you guys know him, again, especially if you were here in 21, 22. This dude makes a brand new song every single day of the week, and he mints them as NFTs. He is an AI agent that'll be writing these songs from now and then making a video. And then those will be posted as an NFT or minted as an NFT. That starts, I think, tomorrow. Does he say that for sure? And yeah, hang on. Let's assume tomorrow. Today or tomorrow, that goes live. AI-generated songs, trained on him and his music and his style. I love it. I think he's a very talented guy. I'll say that. He's a very, very talented guy. Runes. Look, dead, I know. Maybe not dead. I'm not going to shut the door on Runes yet. I can't. Maybe it's because I'm down so bad that it doesn't matter at this point. That's part of it. But I still see the potential. I still think if we get the Omnicycle, I think Omnicycle's in play still. Also, again, ties back into the ordinal predictions. I'm not going to bury Runes yet. I don't have high hopes that rune crazy fungible token thing materializes, but there is a chance. At this point, I'm more like a 15% chance. I don't know exactly, but it's there. When you see Taproot Wizards invest in Odin.fun, I'm like, okay, maybe there's some life there. When you see an announcement like this, Coinbase investing in this runes trading platform. This is Sat's Terminal. So it's Coinbase Ventures, by the way. $1.7 million investment. That comes from a couple people, by the way, but Coinbase Ventures is part of it, maybe their primary investor. Yeah, that's exactly it. Led by Coinbase Ventures. And then Draper, is that it? Draper VC? Let's see. I mean, these are the things that runes need. Look, speaking of perfect storms, we might get the perfect storm of something like Sats Terminal, really putting out some great products that let you trade these runes much easier. Combine that with this runes upgrade that's coming that Casey Rotomore is going to be rolling out. Combine that with Magic Eden finally launching their DEX, like a good, proper DEX. Also combine that with Slingshot that is onboarding or going to be integrating runes. Like maybe there's still a chance here. 15, 10%, 20, whatever that number is, I'm holding because I think there's still a chance. Can't let it go. So there we go. Final story, and I'm not going to go over this today. We'll save it for later in the week if there's some time for it. But Kate Irwin from Blockworks. This is spicy, man. She dove into the Shrapnel game and their token and insiders selling a ton of that token and all this, chaos behind the scenes and how much money they've lost. It's a spicy story. I think that game is almost game over. Like, really, I think they're run very poorly. I don't know for sure. I'm just, I'm going off of the vibe of this. Poorly run, bleeding money, and owners, again, one of them at least, selling tons of token because he's in debt. Spicy story. Yeah, so Cats, that's a great one. Yeah, I'm really bummed about the Naval thing. I did, and I actually did it. Funny enough, I did it this weekend before that announcement. That's what funded me doing the Minecraft token. I finally was like, I knew when people asked him for an update and he said the only update coming is about the DAO. I'm like, it's definitely done. So I was out, just a few days before. Crazy thing, I was still watching because I holding out hope that I could get back in there. But somebody in the Twitter group chat left a message, not realizing that Board had already left it, but they're like, hey, Board, why don't you make it open source? Just give the code so people can continue building. And I didn't reply, but I wanted to say, I don't think he built anything. I don't think anything happened. It was right around the fire where I know for sure it stopped, or I believe it stopped, full out stopped, but I didn't buy his answer. I'll say that. I'll say this, dude. His answer raised some red flags for me. I like him, by the way. I don't know if I will get into anything that he puts out. You know what? I'll just be smart in case by case basis. But this one was a big red flag for me. And by the way, I know I don't have to apologize for anybody who followed me into Naval, but I still will. I lost a ton of money on it, tons. One of my biggest losses ever. And I'm going to learn a lot from it. But I will say I'm sorry to anybody who followed me into Naval and got wrecked. I know we're all big boys and we make our own decisions. And I think the thesis was correct. It relied on the meta playing out, and it relied on the guy building what he said he was going to build. My biggest mistake was how heavily I allocated it towards it. It was way too much. It was like a huge part of my portfolio. Now it's worth nothing. Went from like 15 grand, maybe at one point he was even like 20 grand out for like $400, 300, some ballpark. Well, it wasn't good. Yeah. But here's the thing, Cats. When he said in his announcement that the devs he had hired or brought on either stopped responding or they just couldn't do it, that's a red flag to me. I don't buy it. I'm not believing the story, because if a dev stops responding, that means you didn't vet this person, right? If you hired a dev for something that's got this much money behind it and they just kind of go dark on you, you didn't properly vet this person. You did not go get a quality guy. Makes me question if he got anybody at all. I'm there. Again, I like him. This is not really a knock on him, but we'll be very honest. We all lost a lot of money. I don't think he really had anybody working on this. And if he did, it was casual. That's my gut feel. And he also said he lost like 100,000 on it. I am tempted to go back on chain and look, because we saw the dev wallet selling throughout. I have a hard time believing he lost 100,000 on it. Maybe he did. I don't think he did. And I don't want to take the time and dig really, but I could. I just remember the dev wallet sold all along the way. I don't think he lost 100 grand, but maybe. So, Yeah, that one's a bummer. And Cats, that I appreciate you, man. Yeah, we tweak our game plan going forward, and all in like that can't happen. As good as you, well, it was such a good learning lesson. Like the timing was wild when I was kind of giving this warning that you never know the thing with the best quality and potential right now, and you never know when something comes out of left field, like a black swan event in that thing that changes it all. And you know, the unfortunate, the LA fires were that for him. That was it. It was game over at that point, and I understand it entirely. That said, if that didn't happen, I still at this point now I'm not sure anything would have happened regardless. So yeah, we'll see. By the way, he said that the dev couldn't build on Polymarket, like it just didn't work well. Billy bets on Polymarket, I'm pretty darn sure. So that excuse that like nobody can really get it working, I think it's bullshit. Billy Betts is crushing. So anyway, a lot learned, and that applies to everything. As great as something is, be aware that you can't even account for things that you can't even imagine. And that applies to my ordinals thesis with Bitcoin. I feel like it's one of the safer ones because it's Bitcoin, but if something fundamentally changes about Bitcoin, or, you know, we fast forward 4 years and any pro-Bitcoin or crypto legislation and regulations rolled right back, there we go. It undoes it all. At least it pushes it back years, you know? So so I don't buy it because so he said it doesn't work. Nobody can do it. And he pointed to the Poly Trader agent. Like, well, that's just a shitty agent then. Billy Betts is crushing. So there we go. Okay, guys, newsletter is out today. If you don't know, I've got a weekly newsletter. It comes out Tuesdays. I'm actually experimenting with doing it daily. I might just do it as a personal thing, like my own daily quick email update. And like my newsletter, should I show? I don't need to show it, I guess. But like my newsletter, it's like an overview of everything that happened during the day, all the headlines, top movers, a look at the charts, maybe a paragraph or two, just a quick comment, like a quick commentary. So like a paragraph of just some thoughts, and a daily thing. Is that something you guys have any interest or need? Because we got great stuff out there from like Tyler and Mando. They already exist out there, so I want to find my own flavor. Also, it would cover AI. But I'm tempted to do that to start building up my own like mailing list. I think that comes in useful down the road. So really thinking through that. Anyway, my weekly newsletter comes out today. Good market overview. Actually, fuck it, I'll show that. Let me just show you what it looks like. You get a little spoiler today. It's a lot of work. So if or when I do it like as a daily thing, it'll look a little different. But yeah, here's like today's newsletter. So this will go out in just a few hours. So I cover the top few topics of the past week, some bullet points. Here's the AI market and some highlights there, the NFT market, some commentary on market action, crypto market, top movers here. Hang on, did I fuck something up there? No. Yeah, so crypto top movers, and then just general headlines. Upcoming drops, and then a word of the day wraps it up. But yeah, there it is. That's the weekly newsletter. That'll go out late morning, early afternoon today. So there we go. Afternoon show at 2 p.m. Eastern time called the Swarm Report, hitting everything happening in AI. It's tons going on. Guys, great hanging with you today. Fun one. Really fun one. Thinking if there's anything else. No, just smash the like on the way out. Really, it does help a lot. If you're finding this show helps you, is valuable to you, you're enjoying it, hitting the like helps a ton. And subscribe if you aren't already. I will see you guys in a little bit on the Swarm Report. If not, have a great day. We'll see ya. Peace.